You guys know who I am. But in case there's other people who don't know, my name is Brody, and I'm a deaf comedian. And it's really weird introducing yourself with your disability. It's like saying, hey, my name is George, and I got depression. Or, hi, my name is Bill, and I'm blind. Yeah, we know, Bill. We can see that. He can't. But it's weird that I have to say I'm a deaf comedian. However, there is an explanation for that. This week I was with a group of friends or acquaintances, and I was just telling stories. And it led on to jokes and questions about my hearing. And I was just explaining to them that my yearbook quote is just what? It's nothing significant. It's nothing about, oh, reach for the stars or office quote or something. I'm not a basic white girl, right? It's just what? And those who know me, that's 90% of my vocabulary right there is what? Because I miss half the things you say, so I need the reassurance, you know? So I'm explaining that to my friends, and I hear somebody like kind of scoff, like, and I thought I was just hearing things, but then I looked with my friends and they heard it too, and were like, what? And then there's a woman, probably in her 40s, behind her. We looked at her, and she's like, I'm offended. And I kind of just looked, and they look, and they didn't say anything. And I'm like, why? Like, I didn't know what I was going to say. Like, I was blown away. I've never met a Karen before, right? I've never in my life I always thought it was just a mythical thing that the meme lords created. Like, a Karen and Chad, just for the memes, you know? So I've never, nope. They're real. They're there. She was looking for the manager. However, she's going off, and she's like, I asked her why she's offended, and she's like, I just think it's offensive to the deaf community. I was like, I'm deaf. Like, she's like, well, there's other deaf people who would find that so offensive. And I was like, thinking to myself, who are you one to say anything? You're not deaf. Like, who are you to say? And so I'm like, I'm sorry I offended you. And she's like, well, I've got a deaf friend who'd be offended. And I was like, I guarantee he wouldn't be offended. I told her that they would not be offended. And she's like, well, he would be. I'm like, okay, call him right now. Right? So she calls. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Nothing. I respond with, oh, he really is deaf. I got the dirtiest look. It was almost as dirty as if when I take my implant off my mom when she yells at me. But it wasn't to that point yet. Not yet. It was getting there. And I'm like, just try again. He might have missed it. So she tries again. Ring, 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 but he picks up. Hello? To my shock, it was like an 80-year-old man. I was, in my mind, pissed. I was like aggravated, but like laughing inside too. I'm like, he's not part of the deaf community. He wasn't born deaf. He didn't lose his hearing. He doesn't know ASL, ESL, whatever. Like, he doesn't know sign language. He's an old man who lost his hearing from an old age, right? And so I'm like holding it in. I'm like, okay. So she's on the phone. She's like, Harold. What? Can you hear me? Huh? I have a question for you. Huh? I have a question. What is it? Do deaf jokes offend you? Huh? Do you find deaf jokes offensive? There's a pause. Now it was like my heart's racing, right? Like, I knew I was going to win this battle. I knew that Karens never win, right? You've watched the videos. I always think they're staged, but they never win. So I know. But then this pause is like still getting my heartbeat racing. And I'm like, oh shoot, what is he going to say? Now I'm going to have to talk. I hate confrontation, so I'm like nervous. And then after the pause, he goes, no! Grow a pair! And hangs up. That was the best reaction I've I didn't expect it. I didn't expect him to tell Karen to grow a pair. She looked a little bit embarrassed, but more pissed at me. And I don't even know why it's my fault, but she was mad. She's like, well, you should still aim for less offensive jokes. I'm sorry, the argument was if he would get offended, but he didn't get offended, right? And so she's like, well, there's other jokes you can tell that are less offensive. I'm like knock-knock jokes. She's like, well, yeah, if it's not offensive. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you a knock-knock joke. Shoot your shot. So I'm thinking, I'm letting it go, right? I'm like, okay, what's a knock-knock joke I can tell? Like, I'm not going to do knock-knock, who's there, orange who, right? Like, that's offensive to fruits. Come on. Like, take a chill pill. It's bad enough that you're putting them in the blender. Like, you don't need to do that to them. So I'm thinking, and I'm like, okay, I got one. Knock-knock. 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 Ding-dong. Ding-dong. Bzz, bzz. Text message. Hey, I'm up front. Man, the reaction. That was the piss face I was looking for. That was the face that was scarier than when my mom looked at me when I take my implant off. It is scary. But after that, she just walked off and she's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And so, that's that. That's when I first met my first Karen. Was it terrifying? Absolutely. But they always lose. They always lose. Karens never know anything, and they're always wrong. I get a scam call, right? This guy, probably from India, calls me. Well, my phone has a block, like, thing, so people that call me are usually people I know or who I've answered before, I've called and stuff like that. And so it was a Utah number, so I thought maybe it'd be either one of my mission buddies or somebody from back in Idaho. So I answer, I'm like, hello, this is Brody. And it's like, hello, this is Juan from Salt Lake City, and your insurance has expired. And I'm like, okay, I know my insurance has expired because it's not in Salt Lake City. And so I'm like, let's play with him. I'm like, oh no, shoot, like, how much do I have to pay for it? Oh, only $20,000. $20,000? Yep. Can you make that payment? Oh, of course, I have the money for that. Oh, great. Well, can you send that payment right now? Well, there's a Target across the street, and is it okay that I get $20,000 worth of gift cards because I don't have it in my bank account right now? I have to buy the card somehow. Oh, yes. Go ahead and go to Target. I'll be waiting right here. I put him on hold. I decided to watch Fairly Odd Parents, and the episode ended. I'm like, oh shoot, I was on call. Like, I literally forgot about this guy. My phone's still on and everything and stuff. And I pick up. I'm like, hey man, I just got back from Target. I got the $20,000. Oh, great. Do you want me to start with you with the first number, first card? Absolutely. What is your number? Okay. 555. 666. 777. 809. Okay, thank you. 1 second, please. It did not work. Do you have another card? Yeah, I have another card. You want me to try that? Please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 0, 0. That did not work, sir. Do you have any other kinds of form of payment? It's like, no, I bought $20,000 worth of credit cards. Like, each card, I've got 20,000 cards with me. You have 20,000 cards? Yeah, like $1 each of them. So like each is worth $1. Why didn't you buy $500 ones? Or a higher pricer? Well, I don't know. I just thought maybe it'd be easier to buy $20,000. Oh, well, can you go back and buy a $500 one? Yeah, I can go back over to Target. Let me return all the stuff, right? I go, and not even a minute later, I'll come back and be like, okay, I've returned my cards and I got ones with higher prices. Okay, great. What is the numbers? 000 999 666 555. It did not work. Shoot, I spent $20,000 on Target gift cards. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Do you have any other form of payment? Well, I do have one other form of payment, if it works for you. Oh yes, anything will work. Great. I've got feet pics if you want some. Feet what? Feet pics, you know, like feet pictures. Like, it's super common these days. It's almost like Bitcoin. Oh, I've never heard of it. You never heard of feet pictures? No. You see, I would take a picture of my foot and send it to you. And with that picture, you can probably get $500 just for that picture if you sell it right. Oh. So is it like a Bitcoin currency? Almost. So what you would do is I would take a picture of my foot and I would send it to you and you sell it. But what's a feet pic? Like, he's not getting the concept. I'm like, it's a feet picture. Oh, I don't think that will work. So you don't want my feet pictures? No, goodbye. And hangs up on me. That was probably the greatest spam call that I've ever received in my life. I've had other ones and I've messed with them. Like, I pretended to be in a game show once where the FBI were there. Got that off from TikTok, like the common one. But this one was like original. It was funny. But there you go. Those are the two things that's happened this week.